Like I say, if anyone feels betrayed, and to my brothers and sisters in Palestine, and my brothers and sisters in Kashmir, my brothers and sisters in Afghanistan, and anyway, if I have ever said anything or done anything that makes you feel or made you feel, or anyone else for that matter, betrayed, trust me, I apologize unconditionally. And I want to tell you something. We stand with all the good causes on earth, the oppressed, no matter where they are. Like I said, I may not be an activist, but I'm a Muslim at the end of the day.
Very nice.
And subhanAllah, we care. We definitely care. We feel, we've reached out. If you know or you don't know, we have reached out. We've done a lot of humanitarian work in so many places, sometimes without even advertising it. No one even knows. And we've done a lot, subhanAllah. So we actually do care for the ummah. It's not like we don't care. But I really would like to say, something happened. I promise you it was absolutely unintentional. You know, the Prophet ﷺ says his famous statement, لَوْ اسْتَقْبَلْتُ مِنْ أَمْرِ مَا اسْتَدْبَرْتُ لَمَا سُقْتُ الْهَدْيَ وَلَا جَعَلْتُهَا عُمْرًا, regarding his Hajj. He says, had I known at that time what I know now, I would have done something different.
Something different.
The exact thing I can say today, to say, had I known what I know now about the things, or about, who it was that I was, one person. Not even anyone else, one person. There was no one. There were 1,000 people. It was a person who perhaps, and a photograph that took place that created the problem. Had I known at the time what it was, I probably wouldn't even have been there. And that's an honest statement. But anyway, Allah Almighty knows best. I owe that to Allah. And He knows the heart. He knows the purity. Sitting at His house today in Makkatul Mukarramah, in front of the Kaaba, seeking Allah's guidance and forgiveness. And pleading to Him, oh Allah, the sins we know we've committed, the sins we don't know we've committed, the mistakes we've made, whatever else, forgive us. Continue to use us to serve the deen, to help to help mend the broken-hearted, and to help whoever it may be, in whatever way, because you have told us khairun nasi anfa'uhum linnas, the best of people are those who are the most beneficial to the rest of the people, and I want to be one of those.
Now Dr. Umar Sulaiman video, very informative, very good.
And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to liberate it and to allow us to pray in it while it is liberated. Allahumma ameen. But I wanted to actually draw your attention to this concept of a holy land.
Holy land.
This concept of al-ard al-muqaddasa, because it's very unique when it comes to Palestine. How many of you have been to Medina al-Munawwara? When you go to Medina, Al-Qadi Iyad rahimahullah said of the blessing of Medina that there's not a single spot in Al-Madinah, no tree, except that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam received revelation under it, or prayed under it, or remembered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and prostrated under it. How blessed is that? It's the city of the Sahaba. You're walking in the footsteps of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the most blessed generation in the history of the world. So Medina, every handspan, a Sahabi has set foot, and the Prophet ﷺ has set his foot there. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma says about Al-Quds, Jerusalem, he says that there is not a single handspan except that a prophet of Allah or an angel has stood there and prostrated or prayed before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot step in a place in Jerusalem except that a Nabi of Allah, a prophet of Allah, was once there. You cannot set your foot in a single place in the Medina except that a companion of the Prophet ﷺ was once there. Now I want you to think about this blessed land for a moment, inshallah ta'ala, through the chapters that we have just read. We read obviously Surah Al-Isra. In Surah Al-Isra, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions to us the ascension of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to the heavens from Al-Aqsa alladhi barakna hawla. Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, which we have blessed everything around it. The ascent of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam from that place to the highest place. Then we get to Surah Al-Kahf. I want you to see how central Palestine is to everything that you just read. When did Musa alayhi salam meet Al-Khadr alayhi salam? Al-Khadr or Al-Khidr, more commonly actually pronounced Al-Khadr in the Ahadith. When did he meet him? When did this incident take place, which we started with tonight, where he went out to Al-Khadr alayhi salam and had this lesson of the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this incredible lesson about how God decrees. Does anyone know when that happened, at what point in his life? It happened after Musa alayhi salam and his people were unable to enter into Jerusalem, when they were in the wilderness. And that is actually one of the beautiful blessings of this, is that think if you are in the place of Musa alayhi salam, I am forbidden because of these people. I've been forbidden because of these people. And the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and understanding and coming terms with the decree of Allah. The last years of Musa alayhi salam would be spent at the borders of Palestine.
Border of Palestine.
The borders of the Holy Land, because of the sins of his people. And Allah Azza wa Jal takes him on this journey to where he learns another layer of the qadr of Allah, the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَقَالَ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ سَأَلَ مُوسَى رَبَّهُ أَنْ يُدْنِيَهُ مِنَ الْأَرْضِ الْمُقَدَّسَةِ رَمْيَةً بِحَجَرٍ. It's one of the most painful ahadith actually when you read it, that Musa alayhi salam said, it's in Sahih Muslim. When Musa was dying, he said, Ya Allah, I know I can't get in there because this is an istibdal. There's a new generation that will be able to go in there. But let me be as close as a stone's throw from it. And the Prophet ﷺ said, if I could show you his grave taht al-Kathib al-Ahmar, under the red dune, where they now mark, and Allah knows best, Mount Nebo, where Musa alayhi salam passes away outside of the Holy Land. So the end of Surah Al-Kahf is Palestine. Is Musa alayhi salam being given this lesson of the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, unable to enter into the Holy Land. And then comes Surah Maryam.
Surah Maryam.
Where does Surah Maryam start? It starts with Zakaria alayhi salam inside Masjid al-Aqsa, calling upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant him a righteous generation. وَإِنِّي خِفْتُ الْمَوَالِي أَوْ خَفَّةُ الْمَوَالِي, both qira'at, that I don't see inheritors of this mission.